everyone, I'm Kathy Kelly, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. Now, this is a daily show where we break down all of the latest movie news and give you insight into what it all means. Of course, joining me today is senior editor of AMC Movie News, John Campia.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Excellent, thank you.
And then we also have director of upcoming film ABCs of Death, John Schnepp. Hey, Schnepp.
Hey, what's going on? Hey.
So let's kick things off with this. By now, we all know that Disney is bringing us Star Wars Episode 7 in the summer of 2015, and that J.J. Abrams, who created shows like Lost and directed Star Trek, and its upcoming sequel, Star Trek Into Darkness, is going to be directing it. When Disney announced the new Star Wars trilogy, they also suggested that they would be developing a number of standalone Star Wars films within the same universe, but outside of episodes 7, 8, and 9 storylines. So today, a popular website, Ain't It Cool News, is claiming they've uncovered that the first standalone Star Wars film will be Yoda. So John, is it a good idea to make a standalone Yoda film?
No! No! This is terrible. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, smash my face into a brick wall stupid. Look, everybody knows what a freaking fanatic I am of Star Wars. Everybody knows this. So you'd think, oh, well, it's Yoda, one of John's favorite characters. Of course he's good. No! No! Haven't you learned anything? Don't go the prequel route with this stuff. Don't do it. Stay away from the prequels. This is just ludicrous. Look, I understand we have Darth Vader, the central figure in all of Star Wars, and I understood the original concept for the prequels to go back and understand where he came from. How did, Luke's father go from Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader? I get it, but we don't need to uncover every single mystery with every single character. The beautiful thing about the Star Wars universe is that it's huge. You have all these cultures. You have all these characters. It's time to move forward, not move backwards. I don't need to see Yoda as a kid. That didn't work out the first time you did it. It's not going to work out now. I love the character, but he died. Let's move on. Let's explore this universe. Forget prequel stuff, please. John, am I crazy?
Hey, you know what? Remember the Star Wars Christmas special with Chewbacca and his family?
The first time we saw Boba Fett, my friend.
Yeah, with his little friend Chubbles, the little baby Wookiee, and they were all on the crystal planet Kaishak, the Wookiee planet.
Yep.
And they had a light day. Remember that?
Yep, light day. And Princess Leia sang the song.
Was really fun. I think Neen Noob has to have his own movie. I want to see Biggs Darklighter, the early years on Tatooine where he's just getting drunk talking about the rebellion. Young Grievous, wouldn't that be great?
Oh yeah, young Grievous.
When he only had 3 arms. The Saga of Salacious Crumb, the Solo Adventures of Bib Fortuna. My Name is Forlom. Mission Dengar. It's limitless. You can all these movies be just so amazing. As opposed to make stuff that would be really, really amazing.
Like, I mean, remember, there's this rumor that's been floating around, and I still think there's some validity to it, although they deny it, that Zack Snyder, the guy who's directing Man of Steel, is looking at directing like a Seven Samurai kind of take in the Star Wars universe, with Wei Long Jedi and stuff like that. And stuff like that, exploring the Star Wars universe, I think is fabulous, but look, just this going backwards prequel nonsense, it's time to just move forward. And I don't know. Like, I know, Schnepp, you love the Yoda character too. Like, is this something that interests you at all?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo it as much as you. Like, I think it's like, just let them do it. I think they learned from doing the prequels. They're not going to just... If they have a Yoda story that's worthwhile telling, they're going to do it. And I think maybe what Ain't It Cool is grabbing onto is that Cartoon Network are doing those 3 solo Yoda adventures done in the 3D style. Because remember, like... Lucasfilm grabbed it back, so it's now a Disney property, but Cartoon Network still has the ability to air these 3 Yoda stories. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Like, an individual Yoda movie just sounds weird.
Yeah, but now they're specifically saying the first standalone film is going to be Yoda. And it says, the report also says that they are actually looking at, for another solo movie, a Jabba the Hutt, which, once again, moving backwards. I hope they change their minds really quick. I really, really do.
Yeah, that seems really strange and weird. I guess maybe if it's a cartoon, not as weird, but like as a giant, like a big movie release, like in 3D, Jabba. It just
They just want to keep making money off the franchise. That's all it is.
But there's better ways to do it.
Yeah.
I got a cool visual for you guys. World War Z, like all those stupid zombies running. What if it's like 5,000 Jabba the Hutts, like all those slugs like, pooping a weird worm type thing? Like it's Jabba and his minions, and they're all like coming at you. Like
I go see
look,
it.
it's all CG, guys. Thousands of slugs.
Well, we'll see. In 2013, it's going to be a year filled with movies based on comics, including Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Man of Steel, 300: Rise of an Empire, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, Kick-Ass 2, Wolverine, R.I.P.D., and Red 2. So, guys, it's time to do a little predicting. Schnepp, look into your crystal ball and tell us what you think will end up being the top 5 best comic book based movies of 2013 from from number 5 to number 1.
I've looked into my crystal skull. What shall be the best movies of 2013?
All right, so from 5 down, I have number 5, Iron Man 3. Number 4, Kick-Ass 2. It starts to get weird with numbers in these countdowns. Number 4, Iron Man 3 would be number 5. It looks like it's going to be a really another great Iron Man movie, so I'm excited about it. Number 4, Kick-Ass 2. I loved the first Kick-Ass. I've read Kick-Ass 2, the comic book, so I know what's coming. I think if they pull it off, it's going to be fantastic. Number 3 for me is Thor: The Dark World. I loved Thor. I love the Walt Simonson run of Thor. I think the Thor Marvel character is an incredible interpretation, so I love what they're doing with Thor and keeping it in Asgard and all the magic Norse realms and all the creatures that they're bringing forth. I'm excited to watch it. What's happening over there?
We're being invaded.
Thor's minions are trying to break through. Number 2, Man of Steel. I think the Superman reboot by Snyder and the Nolan team is going to be fantastic. It's going to be epic and really fun. So I'm really looking forward to Man of Steel. And for me, number 1, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. I'm a giant Sin City fan. I have every book of Miller's he's ever written, every individual issue of Sin City. I'm a super sweaty, freaky Sin City freak, and I can't wait. I've waited 6 years. I love the first Sin City. I have where they broke it up into each individual story, the deluxe edition. If you guys know what I'm talking about, Rodriguez shot it so that each story could be its own movie. So I can't wait till October. So for me personally, Sin City number 1.
All right, in my top 5. Now, before I list my top 5, let me throw this in here because inevitably this always comes up when people talk about either sequels or comic book movies. I always want to reach through my computer screen and choke people who think they're being clever and original when they say, Hollywood's got no ideas left. There's no originality left. Look. We're talking about comic book movies this year. We've got a list of about 7 or 8. There is going to be 500 to 700 full-length feature films made this year. Probably over 200 of them will get wide theatrical release. Not even limited theatrical, wide theatrical release. Even if there were 20 comic book movies this year, that would be less than 10% of the film. So please, no crying and whining about Hollywood doesn't have any original, there's no original films anymore. We're talking about under 10% here, so let me just get it out of the way. All right,
and these are original movies too. They're just adaptations of comic books and stuff. So.
Yeah, now some of them are sequels, and granted, but all right, let me start at number 5. I think Kick-Ass 2. I love the original so much. I finally got around to reading some of the further books. You're right. Schnepp's completely right. They nailed this right. It's going to be amazing. Looking forward to that. So Kick-Ass 2. Number 4, Iron Man 3. Yes, I wasn't thrilled with Iron Man 2, but, you know, they put in a fresh director. Jon Favreau was great for the first one and setting the direction, but bringing in Shane Black to direct this I think was great. Number 3, I think the Wolverine looks fantastic. I love what I'm hearing about it and the direction they seem to be going, so I'm really stoked for that. Number 2 and number 1 were close for me, but number 2... Thor 2. I loved the first Thor. Saw it 7 or 8 times in theaters, and I just cannot wait. But I think the best comic book movie this year is going to be Man of Steel. I think that one is going to be the one that takes the top prize. So just once again, number 5, Kick-Ass 2. Number 4, Iron Man 3. Number 3, Wolverine. Number 2, Thor: The Dark World. And I predicting that the best comic book movie this year is going to be Man of Steel.
So John, the reason I didn't have Wolverine in my picks is just because of the last Wolverine. It was... The last standalone Wolverine was so bad that I think this new one is going to be great, but it's a wait and see for me. Red 2 also, it's just like the first Red was just like, why is there a second one? I'll see it eventually when it's on DVD, just like I did the first one, because it didn't do anything for me. Ripped, I'm wait and see. Same with the sequel to 300. It's just those are such unknown quantities with, that they could be horrible or they could be really good.
I mean, I loved the first Red, so I am really looking forward to Red 2. And I finally read R.I.P.D. And I'm really curious. I love the Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds casting, so we'll see how that goes. But listen, folks, it's time for the next segment of our show called Buy or Sell, the part I completely ripped off from ESPN's Around the Horn. What's going to happen here is Kathy's going to read off some of the other big news stories today, and John and I are simply going to say whether we buy them or sell them. So, Kathy, what do we got?
We're going to start with, in an interview today, Transformers 4 producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura spoke about Michael Bay's future with Transformers and what the new film might look like. He said, "I can't speak for Michael. I would hope he would stick around. It would be great. There's certainly something in our designs of this. It's going to be an ongoing story. As long as the audience shows up for us, there's a lot of stories to be told. There's a lot of new elements. I wouldn't say that we completely changed this world, and yet it's completely different. There are new characters, there are new situations. I don't think we revisit a single location." So, Schnepp, buy or sell Michael Bay doing even more Transformers films after number 4?
Buy. I think Michael Bay has done a great job on the first 3. I'm not a giant Transformers fan in any way, but I think Bay did a really good job directing the first 3. He should do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 until it's like a Transformers Forever, like Schumacher Freak Fest on ice. Then he should probably keep doing them because he won't have a career after that.
I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna sell it hard. I think I love the first Transformers movie, but I wasn't thrilled with the next 2. I'm a Michael Bay defender. I'm really looking forward to Pain and Gain. But I believe series need to change directors to keep them fresh. I think we saw that with Spider-Man. I wish Raimi had left after the second one. I think we see that in a lot of other franchises. Change the director. It's time for Michael Bay to move on. And you know what really scares me? Hearing all new characters, all new designs. You know what this reminds me of? Transformers the animated movie, where they killed off all the Transformers we grew up with in the first 10 minutes and then introduced all new toys. And it feels like my nightmare repeating itself.
That's what I love about it.
All right.
No, I know that scarred a lot of kids, like John Campea.
Like me. I've never been the same since.
Okay, well, it's rumored last month that former SNL cast member and star of hit comedy Bridesmaids, Kristen Wiig, was going to be joining the cast of Anchorman 2. That report has officially been confirmed, and it's rumored that Wiig is to play romantic interest of Farrell's Brick Tamland. So, John, buy or sell Wiig joining Anchorman 2?
Buy it. Kristen Wiig's a fantastic comedic talent. It's never a mistake to add talent. I love that she's going to be the romantic interest for Brick, because Brick is like one of the best characters in comedies I've seen in forever. And it's the character that really launched Steve Carell's career. So I'm an absolute buy.
Buy. Adam McKay is a comedic genius. Anchorman is one of my favorite comedies of all time. And anything he's doing with the Anchorman franchise, I cannot wait. Kristen Wiig is an incredible actress. Brick, what a beautiful character that did launch Steve Carell with just eating like coffee grinds, just the answers. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Anchorman DVD release with like an hour of extras of just whatever the hell Brick is saying. It's going to be great.
He can love something other than a lamp.
Yes, I'm sure they'll play on that a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah. Director Mark Webb tweeted out that they have officially started shooting The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which stars Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, and Martin Sheen, reprising with Jamie Foxx joining as Electro, Shailene Woodley as Mary Jane Watson, Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, Paul Giamatti as the Rhino, and Felicity Jones in an unnamed role. So, Schnepp, buy or sell The Amazing Spider-Man 2 officially getting started?
Buy. Can't wait. Make it. Release it tomorrow. I want to see that Paul Giamatti is the Rhino. That's awesome. Come on, let's go. Keep shooting.
I'm also buying this. I said before, The Amazing Spider-Man was awesome. It was better in every way, shape, and form than the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Not as good as the second Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but maybe the sequel will. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that shoebox over there was better than the third Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So I'm an absolute buy.
Okay, well, Colin Ferrell has signed on to star opposite Anthony Hopkins in the new upcoming thriller Solace. Originally announced for development in 2008, the New Line Cinema project deals with a clairvoyant doctor who is enlisted by the police to help catch a serial killer. So Hopkins will play the doctor, John Clancy. So John, buy or sell Ferrell joining Solace with Anthony Hopkins?
Buy. I think Colin Farrell is a seriously underrated talent. I mean, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, oh, if he's in a bad movie, that means he's a bad actor. That's like saying, if you put vanilla ice cream in soup and it tasted bad, that means vanilla ice cream's not good. Dumb! Colin Farrell is a terrific acting talent, and I think having him alongside Anthony Hopkins is great, so I'm a buy.
Sell. That's what I can say. Odin and Bullseye. Hannibal Lecter and Ray from In Bruges. Hitchcock and Alexander. No. No. And plus, the word solace reminds me of Quantum of Solace. Double sell. No.
All right, well, listen, folks, one of the elements that we decided to bring back to the show, because you guys asked us to do it, is the mailbag. And we've been doing one a day, but we've been getting too many emails, so we're going to try to double up and do two today. So, Kathy, what email do we got?
The first one we have is Derek E. asks, "Hi, I love the show. I'm a huge Marvel fan. From the movies to the comics, just wanted to get an opinion on a possible Marvel Civil War movie. I found the storyline to be very entertaining in the comics and wanted to see if a possible project might be in the works anytime in the future."
No, it's not. And the simple reason is this. I mean, would it be great? It would be awesome. The Civil War storyline is terrific. But Marvel does not have the movie rights to any characters in the X-Men universe. Marvel doesn't have the rights to any characters associated with the Fantastic Four. Marvel doesn't have the rights to any characters associated with Spider-Man. I just don't know how you can do a Civil War movie without the characters from the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and a couple of others. It just can't be done. I wish it could, but it can't. John, what do you think?
I know how it can be done.
How's that?
Animated. It can be done animated, and that's the only way. Marvel does own the rights to all their characters in the animated world, so they could, like they did that Avengers series. It has everyone in it.
Right.
So they could do an animated Civil War. They could do an animated Civil War movie and still be able to do it.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Okay.
Plus, that would be cool, because then that wouldn't interfere with the live-action story that they're doing, the Thanos and the World War Hulk. They could get all that flavor in the live-action ones and then bust out the Civil War story, Captain America versus Iron Man, in like a 3-part crazy animated movie.
And because they're different mediums, animated and live-action, they wouldn't create any confusion with fans. Schnepp, that's a great idea. You have one once in a while. That's awesome.
Hey! Oh!
Okay, second piece of mail. Terrence Cooper writes, "Hi guys, I began to watch your show like literally last week, and you guys are awesome.
Why, thank you.
I'm a writer as well as a movie fan, and I love movies that are adapted from novels. My friends and I have different tastes. I prefer movies like Harry Potter films, but she likes, drumroll please, Twilight. I'm not against Twilight, but it burns me to my core when people say Twilight is better without having actual facts to support their opinion. In your opinion, what is the better franchise?"
Okay, thank you, by the way, and we're glad you're a viewer now of AMC Movie Talk. But I got to tell you this. There are no such things as facts when it comes to preference in movies. There's just not. You can say, this guy directed that film. That is a fact, because you can measure it. You can actually quantify it. You can fact check it. That's real, that's true. You can say that a movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes long. You can measure that, so that's a fact. But other than that, there's no such thing as facts. If I say I like that guy's performance more than the other guy's performance, you can't say it's a fact that this is better than that one, because it's really all subjective. It's all down to your preference. Look, I can say the original Star Wars trilogy are the greatest movies of all time. Now, I say that very matter-of-factly, but, I mean, the reality is that's just my opinion, because that's all films are. That's all these intangible things that you can't quantifiably measure is all subjective in opinion. So, yeah, if somebody says to you that they like Twilight more than Harry Potter, well, you know, obviously I like the Harry Potter films more than I like the Twilight films. I'm not a Twilight hater, but I like the Harry Potter films more. But you can't ask them to back that opinion up with facts, because there's no such thing. So, Schnepp, what about you? Potter, Twilight, fact, no fact? What do you think?
Sorry you have to hear this, Terrence, but Twilight is better than everything ever. Times infinity, no takebacks. I'm just kidding. I've never seen Twilight. Not even 1 minute of all 8 movies. I haven't seen any of it. So
3 movies or 4 movies?
5 movies. Or is it 4?
Oh, 5.
It's 4.
It's 5. 4 books. Last book broken into 2 movies, right? I think
it
that's
felt like 9 movies.
You know what I see coming, Schnepp? You know what I see coming? You, me, a case of very manly Smirnoff Ice, and an all-night Twilight marathon, my friend. It's coming.
And I'll be crying at the end. If you have little dogs, I'll be, I can't believe the vampires got beaten. Whatever. It's so shiny.
Hey, well, listen, folks, that will be it for us today. But listen, before you do anything else while I've got you, take a second and click the subscribe button. Become a subscriber of our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It'll keep you up to date on everything going on in the world of movie news, our editorials, and of course, our daily AMC Movie Talk show. It's totally free. Just click that subscribe button. And listen, if you want to hear an audio-only version of this show, go on over to iTunes and just search for AMC Movie Talk. You'll find an audio-only version there, or listen to us on Stitcher Radio. You can find those links in the description below this video. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AMC Theaters. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/AMC Theaters. And once again, click that subscribe button. I want to thank, as always, our lovely host, Miss Kathy Kelly. Thanks so much, Kelly.
Thanks for having me.
I want to thank the one, the only, Mr. John Schnepp. And listen, folks, once again, we're going to talk about it later this week. But again, I'm going to put into the show notes a link. John's got a great Kickstarter project going on. A new documentary he's going to be making on the tale of what happened to Superman Lives. Check it out. It looks amazing. Support it. John, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks again. Thanks again.
And thank you guys. Listen, once again, the most important part of the show is not what we have to say. It's what you have to say. Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts on any or all of the topics that we just mentioned. Tell me why I'm so handsome. Say why you love John Schnepp's Crystal Skull so much. Marriage proposals for Kathy seem to keep coming in. But whatever, make sure you do that. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Once again, my name's John Campion for AMC Movie Talk. Until next time, bye-bye.